I'm the Global Runner, and here we are in rainy Phoenix. It's weird to see palm trees in the rain. I spent all this time thinking about the heat, and I've turned up and I've brought the British weather with me. It is pouring with rain and it is really windy. I do actually enjoy running in the rain. I think part of the marathon is blocking out the pain, and when you are subconsciously blocking out the rain, I think it helps. I've done some good running. Now maybe it's because I'm British. I've done some good races in the rain. So even if it is raining on race day, that's fine. I just hope it's not raining on the start line. I hate warming up in the rain. That's always the worst. Standing around on the start line getting soaked. But we'll deal with whatever comes. So in this video, we're 2 days out from the marathon. I'm going to talk about my taper. I'm going to go through my race plans. I'm going to go through what I do the day before a race, and I'm going to go through my race strategy and nutrition. So hang around and see what we get through. So the day before the race, obviously I'm looking to carb load a little bit. I have the same breakfast that I'm going to have on race day, just to try it out, make sure there's nothing wrong. I usually have a bagel with either butter or peanut butter, and then a banana on that. I try and front load everything during the day. I don't like to eat a ton in the evening because I don't want to wake up bloated, particularly as you have to get up super early for marathons ordinarily. And throughout the day, I'll just sort of have a bit of Morton drink, maybe Morton 160, again to top up the carbs. At lunch, I'll have a bowl of pasta or something like that. And then in the evening, I'll just snack. I try not to overeat, obviously we're carb loading, but that doesn't mean you have to stuff your face. Just eat the normal amount of food that you would. And that's the way that I approach my food strategy. Okay, so the plan for tomorrow is to run with gratitude. The fact I can do this age 50 is something that I can't take for granted. Number 2, embrace the plan, which I'll go over in a minute. And number 3, embrace the pain. So the plan is to keep it nice and simple. And I can't forget that I'm not here to run the fastest marathon I possibly can on the day. I just want to get under 240, and I want to do it as easily as possible, touch wood. But I have to recognize in doing that it's going to hurt. This is not going to be easy in any stretch of the imagination. So embrace the fact that this is going to hurt. But remember, this is a stepping stone to qualify for sub 240 in Sydney. So this is the first step in that process. So I don't want to go off too fast. I want to make sure that I'm really relaxed, particularly through the first 10K, and that I build in the race. So if I'm slightly below pace in the first 10K, that's going to be absolutely fine. I want to be crushing the second half, hopefully. Okay, so I've done about 15 marathons in my lifetime, and all of them have been under 3 hours. So I've done 15 tapers, and they are the worst part of marathon training. But I've got 3 key principles that I follow when I'm doing the taper. Tip number 1 is volume down, quality up. So I'll put on the screen the taper sessions that I've done during this particular taper. And as you can see, I've cut down on the volume. I haven't done as many miles, but I've tried to do them a little bit faster. And there are still some aggressive sessions in there. So 8 days out from the marathon, I did 12 miles with the last 6 hard, for example. I've done some 3-minute efforts on the treadmills, mimicking K reps. It got a bit snowy in Calgary, so I had to stay on the treadmill. But those are the types of sessions that I've been doing. The idea being that you rest your legs, but you get them used to running faster so that race pace feels a lot slower. Okay, tip number 2 is stay out of your head. Paranoia and mind games lurk in your head during the marathon taper. You are not getting fatter just simply because you're not running as many miles. It definitely feels like that. Every runner feels like they're getting fatter. They are not. I tend to watch what I eat a little bit, but you've got to be very careful that you don't go the other way, because if you turn up to the marathon too weak, the drop off on the other side is huge. Don't worry about those niggles, like your legs are going to feel different. you've rested them. So things are going to feel a little bit weird. The run the day before the marathon is always my worst run of the year. I've called friends up prior to that and said, there's definitely something wrong with my legs. There's nothing wrong with your legs. They're just rested. And I go with the worse you feel the day on your run the day before the marathon, the better you're going to run. And don't sweat the little stuff. You've done probably 100 runs to get ready for this point. One bad run is not going to impact your race day. And then the final one in getting out of your head is thinking positive, like visualize your goal and visualize yourself achieving that goal, so that when you do it on the day, you've got the confidence to actually get there and achieve what you're trying to achieve. And then the third tip for the marathon taper is shave your legs. Okay, that might not be for everyone, but I do it, and it's marginal gains, and if it saves me 1 second per mile, I'm taking it. That's 26 seconds. So I go in to the start line feeling like a cyclist, and I feel like that helps me perform as well. So do whatever it takes to help you get there. Prediction time, I predict I'm going to run 2 hours, 36 minutes and 36 seconds. Let's see what you think. Comment below. Okay, and this is my race day kit, which always looks loads when it's spread out on a bed like this. But I'm going with the original Vaporflies. I had a whole video about that, so feel free to check that out. So those are my race day shoes. Apparently it's going to be cold when we start. We start at 6:30 in the morning and up in the mountains. So I've got gloves just in case. I've got arm warmers, which I always find to be quite useful. You can roll them up at the start of the day when you're cold and then roll them down when you've finished, and you can always use them as a sweatband if it gets too hot during the day. I'm probably going to wear a hat and hopefully sunglasses if it's sunny. Just a singlet, nothing underneath. I've got these shorts from Decathlon, which are longer than I like, but they've got all these pockets which are amazing for gels. And talking of which, this is my race day plan. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gels. This is the 160, so that's a bit bigger. The plan is to fill this 250 mils up with the 320 Morton drink and sip that over the first sort of 10k, and then probably take a gel every 5-ish miles after that, so probably every 45 minutes. I'll see how I feel. I always play it by ear, but try and keep ahead of it. But obviously I don't want to mess with my stomach when I'm running in the race, so I just play it by ear. Socks, I prefer, I've got these Features socks here. I prefer no-show socks, don't know why, but I do. And I prefer a thicker padding. I just think they make the shoe feel a bit more comfortable. And so that's what I'm running with there. And I'm going to take these, my AirPods, just in case. I don't usually listen to music, but they have saved me in marathons before where I've been running with no one and I needed to keep my concentration. And I've used music to make the perceived effort feel a lot less when I'm running. So that is my race day kit. So tomorrow is the big day. Wish me luck and tune into my next video to see if your predictions are right and if mine are right.